Hello, hello, hello. Well, it's May 27th, I would say, or May 26th. I'm not sure. You would think I would know, but yeah, I just literally get up and live the day. Um, Wonderful day, waking up, you know, grateful in that um, my my church we do women um, warrior prayer every Wednesday. Um, so I did that. Definitely, that's something that has to be done for me. Connecting with God in prayer. I suggest that you know everyone seeks God and pray. Man, it's when I tell you, you think He may not be listening. Oh, yes, He is. He definitely is listening. So make sure you guys pray. You know, it's definitely going to be a time where I come on here and start praying first before I even start, speaking out. If we go get there, yes, we are. I'm claiming it right away. Um, but I wanted to just make sure I stay consistent with getting on and um, talking with everyone. I got some really good calls and feedback and talking with people. Um, so I thank you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Um, yeah, I don't have too much to say and kind of go over tonight. Um, Other than just like, man, when God gives you peace, at first, years ago, I didn't know what, having that peace was. I thought I had peace when things were like, I guess, the least, when it was going my way, I can, say I was at peace. But now there's things, everything is going all kinds of craziness. And I have a stillness in me that I know just has to be God. So finding the true stillness and calmness and peace with everything that's going around, hectic around me, for me to at one point not ever experience that is where I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I'm just able to, you know, call on Him because we all know His power in His name. And I just enjoy now where I was telling you guys, it may be hard sometimes to, like, it was hard for me to be by myself. I was always trying to attach myself with someone. And I've been finding out that it's good to be by yourself. Like, it's okay. Like, I thought, like, when I was in my teens, that I knew who I was. And don't get me wrong, when I was in my teens, I was, like, comfortable in a lot of aspects of what was going on, but not like how I am now. Like, like I said, I'm being by myself for the first time, you know, and it's, you know, man, when it say peace that surpasses all understanding, I don't even understand it some days, sometimes within the day, you know. I'm so grateful for where I have come from. My past, when I was telling you guys that I shouldn't even be here, and it's, I was laughing and joking with someone, and I was like, oh, it's I'm complicated. And they were like, no, not complicated. You're complex. And yeah, because the story behind even how I was born is something within itself. They told my mother I was supposed to be a boy, so they thought I was a boy up until I was born. And of course, I'm a girl. So that's where my name Audrey Lane came from, because they were going to name me a junior. And they basically just merged his mother name and my mother's mother name together, and that's how I came up. Well, they came up with Audrey Lane, and that was just after they found out I was a girl, and then they never looked at the clock when I was born. So I had two birthdays and everything, because they never got a chance to look up at the clock to see when I was actually born. So I have two birth certificates, and my mom had to pick a date for, because you got to have a date for your birthday um, and everything. So she ended up picking a date, and yeah, so man, you can't tell me that God doesn't have something in store beyond even what I've been asking and praying for. It's funny because him and I have been talking and laughing together, and just that peace and that stillness of, it's good that you talk with me now and you pray to me now with a heart that is so open to me. Please know that what you've been asking me for is like the tip of the iceberg of what I'm going to do for you. And it's not always a financial thing as people would think. And even what I was thinking at one point, oh, it's going to be finances, it's going to be finances. I've come to a point of like, God, you clean me up, you wash me, you give me wisdom, you give me knowledge and understanding. I'm good with that. I'm good with that, because if you have all of that, like, everything else falls in line. So, man, praying praying is awesome, but it also teaches you to make sure you have the right kind of motives in your conversations with God, because trust me, He knows you. He knows you better than you know yourself. So He reveals things to me to let me know how to go about, our communication different. And it starts with Him that has me being able to be in conversations with people where if it was at one point it wasn't going how I wanted the conversation to go, or let me just pick and choose what I want out of this conversation. You can't do that with God. I've done that for so long with Him that, I thought it was like okay to do, but now having some real good conversations with Him, there's some things in there that may be uncomfortable for me at times, but I stay in it. I had one of my deacons this evening who did Bible study for us say something that, has God had placed, in my ear before of, though, let me word it right, though I slay you, you must trust me. But more so, I got it is, though you may slay me, I must trust Him. I will trust Him. And my pastor has said it, you know, and like the confirmation of it is, it's like God said it, and then my pastor said it, and then now here it is, my deacon then said it, and you know, it's been where the conversation has been really sticking in and staying with me. Of not every conversation is going to be how I may want it to be, but I gotta grow from it. I have to make sure I take it all in, and not what I want out of it, but all of it in, because not everything is going to be like this peachy cream cupcake thing, as I always say. So it's been really good, actually having conversations with him. I like it because it actually has me here now doing this. Like I told you guys in the first video that even though I like to talk, it took me a while to get to do this. It took me a while to actually put myself out and even just coming on camera. And even though I'm not, excuse me, going over a lot of the details of what's going on right now for me, just the fact that I can come on and even talk out now is a great thing, because I wasn't doing it. You know, I wouldn't really tell people my business. I will only tell, you know, bits and pieces of it. And now I am at a point of I'm going to start putting all of my stuff, you know, out when God tells me to. You know, my deacon tonight was saying that basically your testimony, you gotta get it out there for people to hear it. You know, I truly know that more than it probably touching others, it's one thing when you like, oh, I lived my testimony, so I know it. You don't know how much of a release it will be for you to start coming to terms and dealing with it, until you start getting stuff out there, until you actually let it come out of your mouth. Then you'll be able to take it back in a different way of how to deal with it. You know, so I'm learning to speak up now and speak out, you know, to talk to people and let people know, hey, this is what's going on with me. And not only did my deacon help me tonight, his wife is phenomenal, phenomenal. And it was really good talking and sharing with them tonight, because our pastor is actually who man, this man works for God so often. I don't know if he ever gets sleep. But he actually took a vacation, and knowing him, it's probably where he can shut down, but he doesn't shut off. You know, he does definitely keep both feet in God. Yeah. But he was on vacation, and you know, usually our Bible study in-house will be a couple people there, at least like 15, maybe 20 people in-house. And then we have the flood of people that comes on through Facebook and Zoom and stuff. But tonight it was only me, my deacon and his wife, and then the kiddos. And when I tell you, everything that God needed me to hear came through this gentleman to me. And it was phenomenal. Um, yeah, really phenomenal. So I am so ready for me to be getting more down into my word. I spoke with my father, the man who I call my father, um, who you guys will hear me talk about more than likely often, and the woman who I call my mother, because my actual biological mother is not here. She actually passed on my birthday, my 30th birthday, and that took a good toll on me, because it was like, when I tell you the complex thing of my birth, and even when I was born, I was stayed in the hospital for X amount of months. They told my mother I wouldn't live. I was born with pneumonia and all some other stuff, and it was crazy. And I never really liked celebrating my birthday. Couldn't tell you why. Just never really liked it as a kid. And then you fast forward, on my 30th birthday, my mom passed, and I went into such a slump and in a dive in life, because by my mother being a single mother and we being raised by her, um, it was like the lifeline kind of just, and it was difficult for me, really difficult for me. So the guy who I call my father, when we moved from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, he stepped right on in, and man, picked up some pieces that was crazy. I also call another male my father, who I haven't seen in years, who he stepped in down here in Philly for me, and came to my 8th grade graduation, was there for, all kinds of ups and downs with my family. And man, but the Mel now who, um, both of them I call my father, but the one who is here now, and his birthday was actually Monday, to the same day that I was served my divorce papers. I didn't tell him. He doesn't know right now, and the only reason why he doesn't know is because I'm actually headed up to Pittsburgh, and I'm trying to surprise them, and I don't want to mess the weekend up with what's going on, even though this man knows me well enough to know that any slight movement of offness, he can kind of get it out of me, you know. But I don't want to, I think I probably will tell them what's going on, because they do know. I have spoken to them about it. So, I mean, the trip is still going to be a nice trip and a wonderful trip, you know. So I probably will tell him, not probably, I am going to tell him what's going on, versus him already probably knowing, and, he knows me enough to be like, something is off with you. So, yeah, you tell me, and hey, you talking about a support system. These two, mom and pop, have been a great support system for me. You know, you talking about, like I say, I try to place myself around sharpeners. These two right here, yes, sharpeners. So I'm going to go and sharpen them with just me coming up there and surprising them, and sharing with them, just like, I don't look at this divorce thing being anything bad. I look at it as just a wonderful thing. I'm going to handle it with grace. I'm going to handle it with, you know, God, heal me, heal me. I don't want to go into it with hurtness, bitterness. I'm looking at it as a better thing for me, and a healing, man, a healing thing for me. You know, I'm not, you know, I try to be mindful when I come on here also of living in my true self and living in greatness with it. And even though it's a lot going on, a guy has been telling me, I want to see how you want to handle this. And not just behind the closed doors, out in the public, on this channel, in life. I need to make sure that you are going to hold up to my will. And that's what I'm going to do. You know, I'm asking God to be with me in it and to help me in this process, because that's what I want to do. I want to handle this with so much grace and so much mercy and love, more importantly, because even though I'm going through it, this may and will touch others. And I just want men and women to both know that you can handle this with you know, with love. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's actually about to be the beginning of a newness for me. Uh, um, I already feel it. I'm already doing things within it that I've never done before. So I thank God for it. You know, what's going to happen? God has it. So I'm not going to like look at it to be anything bad or anything that is going to weigh me down. It's something that is actually going to and better not only myself but others. So I want you guys to follow me in this process. It's still pretty new, so I don't have any updates on what's going on myself, you know. Um, but I'm just going to be on here every day so you guys can kind of share in the process of how everything is going to go. Um, this this weekend is going to be a good weekend for me because, like I said, I'm going up to Pittsburgh to not only visit my mom and pop. I'm going up there in celebration of my sister's marriage and her husband's um, 50th birthday. And, you know, that key thing again, that commandment of love is going to be a love weekend, you know. So I'm going to get on and probably do all of this from up there um, over the weekend. Because like I said, I want to be consistent and try to do this every day. You know, I don't want to have it where I miss a day. I want to be in tune with you guys and the, you know, also release a lot of the stuff that's been in me out. I've been finding out that just talking and doing this has uh, helped me sleep at night. Put it like that, help me sleep at night, helps me during the day, man. So I thank you guys for subscribing to the channel and commenting and sharing. I do appreciate it. So I'm going to wrap up here with what I always say in this forum, of somehow in some way. I love me, love yourself, but more importantly, love God forever and always. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.